we're going to go through how to get ancient civilization cores. We're not going to be doing endgame raids for this, mostly because when I look at the tech tree, the first time the game tells us to start getting the civilization cores, we are level 47, and I'm pretty sure we need the large incubator to level up the base, which means you're not going to be facing endgame stuff when you're starting to look for these. Hopefully you are looking for these at an early stage, because once you get further down the tech tree, you end up starting to need more of them for things like your shield. Luckily, they're not really consumable items, so generally speaking, once you've built something, you're not going to need to have tons of them, but you will need several as you're going through the game. How do we get them? You need to build your expedition cave, and you need to have defeated at least Tower of the Free Pal Alliance. This is pretty early on in the game, and once you've defeated her, you are now able to send your pals, as you can see here, into the Astral Frost Cavern. You can see up on the top right there, the required type is ice. What this means is it means the ice pals that you send into there are going to get a bonus to what the game calls their firepower. I don't know exactly what this means, like how it calculates it, but you can see that the ice pals here are all at the top, even though some of them are lower level than the ones that have got him applying. And you need a minimum of 20 of that type of pal to start the expedition. And as you can see, the more powerful your pals are, the larger the percentage of rewards you're going to get. Now, the one that I actually recommend doing is the Celestial Sakura Cavern. Once you've got the Astral Frost Cavern unlocked, you should be running this one, and that's going to get you your initial ancient civilization cores. But I actually have the Dark Cave one. We've also got the hard mode ones that we can unlock afterwards for more. But I find this one is the easiest to tool up for very quickly because it needs water pals. And the reason that is an advantage for us is that there's a very specific place that we can go to power up on water pals, and that is the Gobfin's Turf. And the cool thing about these is with the legendary spheres, which you should have access to at this point, these are insta catch, which means we can just turn up here. You can obviously increase the amount of pals that spawn if you wish to, and we can just throw legendary spheres at them and catch them like this. It appears that if you condense the pals together, that is one of the things that drastically increases the firepower, is just sending them around the expedition. So what I recommend is catching around 550 of them. That should allow you to fully condense 5 of them, and that'll get your starter army started. I've been doing this quite a lot so that I've got loads of these all fully leveled up, and there is realistically not a limit to the amount that you can send around the expedition. So if you are short on them, a farming session is going to look like sending the expedition for an hour, coming down here, catching way more Gobfins, because that's technically not a waste of time. It means on the next expedition you're going to have even more firepower, which means you're then going to get even more resources from each time that you send your pals into the expedition. And it also means we're able to stock up on Gobfins, which have a really powerful partner ability which powers up your attack. And if you can get like 5 of them with Vanguard, you could make it so that you're just like an immortal warrior of death when it comes to fighting off other pals within the game. Once you've captured your army, it's time to condense them down so they have a better chance when they're going around. I like to just look through to see if there's a passive that I want to preserve. Serenity, for example, if you don't already have that. But in general, the one that I'm looking for is anything that has Vanguard on it. So I'm going to select this guy right now, and we're just going to go ahead and get these guys all on there. Obviously, you could just send the whole page in, but just in case there is a good passive in there, I do like to check them all. We go ahead, we get all of them condensed in, get that condensed down, and then we can go back to our expedition cave where we can select the expedition. I'm too lazy to pick the ones I want to put in, so I always just put auto assign on, and then we can go ahead and send those into battle. It's worth noting as well that we can actually have a separate cave and therefore a separate expedition per base. So it may well be worth getting an army of each type, so an ice army and a dark army. The thing with the dark army is the best place to recruit loads of dark stuff is on Faybreak, so you'll want to be a bit higher level for that. But there's really nothing stopping you do it once you reach the ice tower. If you get yourself loads of ice pals, you'll be able to condense them down and then send those to get an advantage for that. That way, you can go ahead and send separate expeditions into the cave, provided that you have enough pals to do so. Often, because I use auto assign, I've usually sent all of my most powerful pals on the first one. But that is how you're going to get the extra ancient civilization cores. You'll get them once the expedition is up in an hour's time, and that will allow you to get all of your stuff built.